Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Scorpio Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have significant Scorpio placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Scorpio, as I'm filming this, we're almost at the Taurus full moon, which feels very appropriate for this reading because it is your opposite sign. And it's very interesting. There's this sort of energy here of mystery, which of course is Scorpio's element, and transparency with the Taurus full moon, which is coming through for you. So maybe you're feeling a bit out of your element, or there's something about like transparency versus mystery that's important for you. Like maybe something that usually you keep secret or a bit mysterious is something that you're sharing, or vice versa, that kind of thing, because it's the sun and moon energy. I was also getting a couple of older readings. So one was like a really old reading, a Scorpio reading called The Sands of Time. I'll link it above. I actually feel like that's an energy that's shifting for you. So it's kind of like becoming the opposite of whatever that energy was from that reading. Because I was seeing an hourglass that was being turned upside down for you. So it's almost like a cycle is becoming flipped is actually how it's coming through. So it could be something where it's like, if you've been in a cycle where it's been sort of tough or difficult or whatever, it's almost like you're going to be experiencing the other side of that cycle where it's going to be easier, if that makes sense. So you're in this process now, though, of like something being turned upside down or turned on its head or turned opposite or reverse than what it is you have been experiencing. That's how it's coming through for you. There was another reading that I did like a month ago. It was a Pisces reading. And it talked a little bit about like practicing running for a marathon. It's called When Love Finally Breaks Through. So I'll link that one above as well, just in case you're interested. Because I actually feel like there's this process, like maybe it's someone that you're connected to, Scorpio, where it's like you have finally gotten through to someone, or like someone has gotten through to you, or there's like love that's being communicated in a dynamic or something like that, in a way that like both understand. That's how it's feeling. Especially if it has something to do with like love languages. Like that could be like a translation process maybe that you're going through, like how to translate other people's love languages into one that makes sense to you. That's how it feels. But it's feeling very positive. I feel like if there has been this energy of like feeling like you've been running a marathon, it's like you're almost at the finish line. I know I say that a lot in readings, but for you, Scorpio, it feels significant like that. You're almost at the finish line of something. Okay. Okay, Scorpio, what wants to come through for you today? Be patient with this process. You have time. You have time. Be patient. And there are people supporting you. This came out in yesterday's reading too. That's amazing. This was the card that came out in yesterday's reading. What sign was that? Cancer. Okay. So it is coming through as like union with another. I'm going to read it today because I didn't read it in yesterday's. So maybe you're connecting with a Cancer, or maybe yesterday's Cancer reading will have something for you. Love as desire, eroticism, sensuality. Though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? What are we awakened by love? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with the primal longing to merge with another human being, nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Eros allows us to momentarily unite. Our heart embraces otherness, and in doing so we further understand our own. Our life force awakens. This card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of desire and sensuality. Explore the labyrinth with a curious and honest heart. And remember, though the way is circuitous, like a circuit, you are always being led towards its center. How do you pronounce that word? Anyways, so I'm getting that, like, a very strong Taurus sort of moon energy here. The, like, desire and sensuality that's coming through here. And of course, Scorpio is also part of that axis of sensuality and desire. Very interesting. But I feel like there's something here, because I'm being really drawn to this diamond. There's something about this has not been an easy path for you, Scorpio. I feel like there's something about your own desire that has been misunderstood by you, is actually how it's coming through. Or that other people have misunderstood your desires. And perhaps you're exploring that more fully. Like, I feel like this full moon is actually helping you with this. Because with the mystery element, it could be that your own desires were a mystery to you. And the Taurus full moon energy could be helping you to, like, illuminate what those desires are, especially if they're desires of, like, sort of like Taurus, Venus, earthly kind of energies, like comfort and safety and protection. And it could be resources as well. I'm more so getting things like motivation, what drives you, like that kind of thing. Like, what are your desires in that sense? It could be very sort of like physical desires, like things that you want to manifest in your physical. I feel like maybe that was not accessible to you in some way, or it was almost like a mystery to you. Your own desire. That's how it's coming through. For whatever reason, I feel like that's becoming clear to you now. And it feels like it's a process that's like turning something into a diamond, right? Like through pressure, through hardship. It wasn't an easy process, is just how it's feeling to me. I can't believe that card came out 2 readings in a row like that. Okay, no, we want to go to animals. So there could be other energies involved, or you could just be sort of exploring different aspects of your desire, and it could just be like asking yourself what it is that you want out of life, or what it is that you want, period. And being very honest with yourself about that answer. Because maybe it could be something as well about like, because I was seeing like the box card in this deck, which talks about sort of like rules and regulations, or like social norms and expectations. Maybe there were some social norms or expectations that you were abiding by as being like, oh, like society says that I should want this when maybe you don't. And like society says I shouldn't want this when maybe you do. Like that kind of thing, where maybe some of your desires come up against social norms that are acceptable and not, in quotations, that kind of thing. So it could have been this sort of process of like almost like uncovering the layers of what it is that you want, what makes you happy, what brings you joy, and understanding that like some of the things that maybe you thought you wanted were things that were like expectations from other people or from society. But I do think you're getting like the gem from this situation, Scorpio. It's like you're almost at the end of this process where I feel like there's something about like how you express yourself, or like it's feeling very much like an outward expression that's going to be reflective of what your inner desires are, like that kind of thing. It's feeling like something internal is being expressed externally in your physical environment because you've gotten clear about what that is. The peacock. That is coming through as being like an external display of desire, which is interesting. I'm going to read this one. So it says, inner beauty, compassion, assimilator of anything. The beauty of the peacock is unrivaled. It's easy to think it comes from the plumage, but the secret of the peacock is that the beauty resides within and extends outward indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest all experiences in life, so it does not harbor resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. The peacock type is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of the self and others. Yeah. So when in balance, confident and kind. When out of balance, can't digest situations. To bring into balance, meditation on the navel, which is representing the sacral chakra. Again, interesting. I have not gotten sacral chakra energy from the peacock before, but it is kind of feeling like this expression of like an outward representation of an inner energy, right? Inner beauty, inner desire, whatever it is, being seen on the outside, but it is coming through as being like integrating information within yourself. Because I also see this peacock card as being sort of like tuning into different radio stations, that kind of thing. So maybe you're in sort of like you're gathering information maybe, or like seeing examples of what you want to manifest, or like what you want to see more of in your life, for example. Maybe you're doing that kind of like information gathering, or you're tuning into particular frequencies, or whatever word you want to put there. This feels like a very internal process for you, Scorpio, but it will be reflected in your external in some way. In a very physical way, it feels like, with the Taurus full moon energy. Like, it could be that you're working with, like, it could have to do with appearance in some way. Like your appearance, your physical appearance. Maybe that's something where it's like that's part of the process of what you're integrating. Or like how you appear to others, or how other people see you. That might be part of like where in the past there may have been it's kind of coming through as being like a misrepresentation or misunderstanding. Like it can be as simple as something where it's like you know, you follow the trends, like the fashion trends or whatever, the way that you dress, the way that you do your hair, or whatever it is. There could have been something where it's like you were following those social expectations or social norms, but that's not like your true style, right? Metaphorically, that's like a very simple example of that. It could be something like that, but it has an impact on like how people view you, what people's first impressions of you are, Scorpio. So maybe there was a disconnect between like how people saw you and how you truly see yourself. And there was a mismatch, right? Like, so maybe people treated you in a way that you did not want to be treated, or you didn't understand why people were treating you that way. It could have been sort of like a social expectation that you weren't meeting, or that you were going against, or that like didn't make sense for you. But it's like now you're understanding why that is. Yeah, because the peacock, when out of balance, can talk about not being able to digest certain situations where it's like maybe there was confusion or disconnect between your internal landscape of how you feel internally and how other people see you. But I feel like that's coming into balance for you through struggle, Scorpio. I feel like you went through some sort of struggle. Moth. I do get this energy of coming out of a cocoon for this one, for the moth, more than I do for the butterfly for some reason. This one comes through more with like a transformation, right? Out of the cocoon and going towards the light, because that it's also coming through as being drawn towards a flame, which is coming through as more of that desire energy, like being drawn towards your desire. Okay, so this, I don't, for some reason the description of the moth card is not accurate, or like it doesn't resonate with me for this deck, because it kind of feels like there's something about, interesting here with the colors. You have this green yellow, which is coming through with heart and solar plexus, where, of course, moth is drawn to a flame, right? I feel like there is some sort of flame for you, like something that is representing your desire, and it could be internally, right? There's like almost like an internal process of figuring out what it is that drives you, what your flame is, whatever that is for you, and then being drawn towards that. But it starts from an internal process is how it's coming through. However, I do feel that internal process is now becoming an outward expression for you in some way. I'm just being drawn to the colors, like the heart chakra and the solar plexus. Because I feel like there's something about, like, maybe in the past, there was something about what you desire, like what was in your heart, perhaps, what you love, right? The inner beauty, the compassion, or whatever it is for you, the self-love, did not feel like it was possible, is actually how it's feeling with the solar plexus. Like it wasn't realistic. It wasn't an attainable goal, for example. It wasn't something that you could realistically move towards. That's actually how it's feeling. So it felt like your desire was separate from what was possible for you. But I feel like that's shifting. It's like it's shifting. It's kind of coming through as being like being hopeful or like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Emerging from a period of darkness, perhaps. Where it's like you're moving towards the light. Or that there is a possibility that something that you desire is possible for you, Scorpio. You may not be quite there yet, but there's a glimmer of light is just how it's feeling. I'm getting like a very strong energy of somebody that is like on the sidelines cheering you on. They may actually be like right beside you in some way, like spiritually, astrally. If they're not physically right beside you, it's like this card came out yesterday as well. The fire. That's so interesting. The crow at the bottom of the deck. Okay, I'm going to read the elephant. And it opened up just to the right page. Okay, unstoppable, auspicious, and wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles, so if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. When in balance, one pointed focus, generous and loving. When out of balance, misunderstands fate. To bring into balance, trust. Yeah. I am feeling this, I was feeling kind of like the swaying motion for you, Scorpio. Like almost being on top of an elephant, right? Like, it's almost like this sort of like gentle rocking kind of energy. It's because I do feel that like you are being transported somewhere, or it's like you're moving in a particular direction, being led by this flame, whatever that is for you. To like, not always, but today I'm being drawn to the broken tusk, right? It has been a journey for you, Scorpio. You are finding your way out of the darkness as well, right? The flame is guiding you in that direction. Okay. This card came out in Cancer's reading as well. It's so interesting. Okay, so fire, wildfire, earth, land, mountain, and sun. This card talks about like the gift of your fire that should be shared and appreciated with others. The gift of your fire. Maybe you are... that's really interesting. And this card talks about achievement and success and like working towards a goal and achieving something. Because it is, again, that energy of like you've been in a marathon, it feels like. It's like you're almost there, you're almost at the end, you've achieved something. And I feel like there's almost you've become wise from this journey, Scorpio. There's like a wisdom that is coming through for you. I actually feel like there's something about like you may actually see yourself as being like this moth here, where it's like maybe you feel a bit like maybe there's a little bit of like a tenderness or like a fragility that you may feel because you've just emerged from like a difficult process or something like that. But how other people are seeing you is this elephant, incredibly strong. It's like you've become a diamond. I do feel that because it's kind of like that feeling of like a diamond, which is so strong, but is also incredibly precious. Like it's coming through like that. That's your energy today, Scorpio. It's like incredibly precious, but strong. Someone may be seeing you like that. Like it's like they treasure you. They treasure you, but also they see your strength. I feel like there's something about like you weren't seeing yourself clearly. Or you're not seeing yourself clearly because it's kind of like I feel something about your energy or your fire. It is coming through very much with fire for you today, Scorpio. Like your fire is a gift that you should share with others. It could be something about like your ability to persevere or like your willpower, your determination. Because this card does talk about like when other people see how you achieve and meet your goals, it also inspires them to achieve and meet their goals, right? It's kind of coming through like that. Like you are coming through as being like inspirational fire today for you, for other people. But I feel like you're not seeing that. That's how it's coming through. Like you're not seeing that you inspire other people. I don't know, it can come through a couple of different ways for you, Scorpio, where it's like that energy of a mismatch or misunderstanding, where it's like maybe there were experiences where people misread you as being like something that you're not in sort of a negative way. There could also be experiences where people or you're misreading how people see you, where you think you're more negative than how people see you. There could be a bit of both happening. Maybe that's part of where the hourglass is flipping, where maybe there was a situation in the past where other people were seeing you as, or like misunderstanding you, misreading you in a negative way. And that's flipping into like people are now seeing you like in this sort of very positive, strong, and precious sort of light, but you're not feeling that way about yourself. There could be something like that, so just pay attention to that. I feel like what is being communicated to you right now through these cards is saying like appreciate the gift that you are, Scorpio. Appreciate the gift of your fire. Because the elephant also talks to me about the gift of fire, which comes through with like illumination, creativity, passion, again, passion, desire, that kind of thing. The ability to create, that is a gift. Your ability to create is a gift. This card comes out a lot too. Land, tree, earth. This is a card about nurturing something about yourself or nurturing a situation. It doesn't have to be yourself necessarily. I feel like you're in sort of this nurturing energy. Okay, I'm going to read it. Every seed we plant becomes a part of us, just as we become part of it. To understand the growth process and the care, the nurturing, and the attention it requires, there is nothing quite as effective as the process of planting a seed and caring for it as it grows. When we plant seeds, we step into the role of nurturer. As nurturers, we must cultivate the patience to water the seed and to care for the seed. We must make sure that it receives the right amount of sunlight as it grows so that it can be strong and sturdy and well nourished. Caring for the seeds we plant teaches us how to care for ourselves and how to care for our planet, because it attunes us to the daily care and subtle shifts necessary for each plant to thrive. Plant a seed and nurture it like it's your most exquisite version of yourself, because it is. This is a very Seven of Pentacles kind of energy. There may be something that you're engaged in at the moment, Scorpio. I almost said Pisces. Where it's like you're in Seven of Pentacles. You're planting seeds of your desire, like what it is that you desire to grow and nurture. It is a process that takes time though, but it's coming through as being like very patient, right? Because the moth does come in with this, with an energy of like being hasty, being impulsive, being a bit reckless. I feel like for you, Scorpio, it's saying like the process that you should be engaged in is one of nurturing, of like being patient as the seeds grow. Maybe there's like a nurturing energy that you're in. Like it could be things like you're nurturing certain projects, right? Like you're investing energy and time into it. You're putting care and attention into something. But it does feel kind of like the planting the seed process is what you're in right now, right? You're planting seeds. I don't think anything has grown yet, but you're in that process. That's a really interesting card. Land, flower, star to come out underneath the peacock. Right? Because it's kind of like it's kind of like this blooming energy. This is a card that says your heart is blooming, Scorpio. It's so interesting because it kind of feels like you're in this place of the seed, right? You're planting seeds that came from the flowers that have grown already. So it kind of feels like very significant sort of harvesting energy here. and now those are looking like seeds. It's like there was, because this is coming through as being almost like a past, or like what it is you've accomplished so far, like what it is that you have with you is like you've harvested seeds from whatever this flower is. Whatever these flowers are, the flowers have bloomed, you've gathered the seeds, and now you're planting them. It's like these are seeds from your heart, right? The seeds that you have gathered and grown from your heart, like what it is that you truly desire, that are now being planted, right? So it's feeling incredibly hopeful for you, Scorpio. It's like you've gone through a process. I'm kind of getting like, at the end of the Hunger Games series, That's so interesting. I just saw a flash of that. Like at the end of the Hunger Games series, if you're not familiar, the Hunger Games is like just horrible, like dystopian world. But anyways, at the end of it, the two main characters, they return to like the victor's circle where they live. And it's like the end of something, but it's like they can actually start focusing on like what it is that they desire. It's that kind of energy. And PETA, he plants these flowers in like the main square or whatever it is. Like it's coming through like that. It does come in with a bit of a melancholy energy, or like melancholy is not the right word. Like this feeling of having overcome a significant loss. That's actually how it's feeling for you, Scorpio. Like the feeling of having overcome a very significant loss, but that you've persevered through that. And like your heart is blooming. Because it's that energy again of like feeling incredibly precious to the point where it's almost fragile. That kind of thing. But so strong because of that. That's how it's coming through for this card. Like you're blooming. Your heart is blooming. It's precious and strong. And there are seeds that are being planted now that are going to grow and be nurtured into your future as well. Like this this strength is going to multiply. The hands are coming through very strongly for you, like your hands. There could be things that you're doing with your hands that like it could be like your work or creating something or whatever it is. Because I've said in a different reading, it was a Sagittarius reading from this past summer. Okay, is Saturn moving out of retrograde tomorrow? Is that why the Pisces energy is coming through? Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Because I'm being reminded of this past summer when Saturn was in retrograde. So it's been in retrograde since the summer. So maybe there's something about that. Because it's almost like that period of time is over. It's like you're harvesting the seeds now from that period of time. You're harvesting the seeds from like the Saturn in retrograde energy. That's how it's coming through. I feel like you've like learned a significant lesson here about loss and discipline and perseverance. Anyways, I got sidetracked. The hands, like how the mouth is how the mind expresses itself, and the hands are how the hands are how the heart expresses itself. So there may be something about your hands that is important, or what it is that you're doing with your hands that is showing you something about your heart. Like, how do you use your hands to create? That's how it's coming through. Okay. I'm going to take this card. This card that talks about... I'm going to read it. But it generally talks about knowing that your gifts will be received. I feel like you have a gift that you are giving to other Scorpio, whatever that is, because it's just being represented today by fire. It could be information. It could be inspiration. Whatever it is, I'll read it and I'll let you figure that out for yourself. But it says, While you hold great riches within the depths of your being, these gifts will wither and decay if you continue to hide them and keep yourself in isolation. You must connect with others. You must stand in the power of your vulnerability and trust that the treasures you have to share will be well received, because they will. The more willing you are to share your gifts, the faster and greater those gifts will grow and multiply, increasing their vitality and breathing new life into you and into everyone you touch. Be courageous now, knowing that others' appreciation for the beauty you have to share will gift you a greater appreciation for all that you were once inspired to keep hidden. Your bravery will allow the others to reflect the inner beauty you carry and will lift you to greater levels of self-acceptance. Yeah. Inner beauty is a huge message for you today, Scorpio. Like, this is a card about like sharing your inner beauty with others and trusting that they will see it and appreciate it, because maybe in the past you felt compelled to hide it for whatever reason, like to hide your inner beauty. It's emerging from the cocoon. And I feel like it sounds cliche, and it almost sounds like it's like ego driven, right? To be like, your gift is going to be appreciated by others, but it will be. That's how it's coming through. Like, others will appreciate this about you. I feel like part of it is like your desire to create is part of it. Maybe there's something that you really want to create, and it's like go for it, Scorpio. You're planting the seeds already is how it's feeling. Like, you have the seeds already in your hand. Maybe you've had the seeds for a while. Maybe this is like dreams that you've had, that you sort of, because seeds can stay dormant for forever, like for a very long time. Maybe these were seeds from the past that have been dormant, and now it's like, are you going to plant them, Scorpio? That's how it's coming through. Dormant seeds that you are going to plant. Because I feel like there was this process of like having to go in search of them within yourself. I feel like maybe now is the right time to do that, or it's approaching that time. I love this card. Did this come out in yesterday's reading too? I can't remember. I'm going to read it because that's at the center for you. Yeah, this did come out yesterday. Okay. You are not the person you once were. You have gone through a deep and profound metamorphosis and have emerged from the unseen realms as a grander, more refined, more unique, and more authentic version of yourself. Don't get me wrong, you're still you. Just a bigger, brighter, more magnificent you. Will anyone notice, you wonder? My dear, your radiance is unmistakable. Not only are people around you noticing your brilliance, but they are being transformed by it. Your spiritual upgrade and the light beaming from your heart are creating new feelings and inspiring new ideas in everyone you meet. Rejoice in your rebirth and the impact it is having on the collective. This is what leadership is all about. Your inner beauty is showing, Scorpio. It's affecting other people, whether you know that or not. I feel like that's the whole point of this reading, is that this like inner beauty, this inner light, the inner expression of your heart is being expressed outwards for others to see. They are noticing, and it's inspiring them. It's helping them. It's also like sort of, I feel like it's also like creating change within them as well, because it's kind of like you're coming through as being like this elephant that is bringing the gift of fire to people. But you don't see yourself that way. It's kind of like I don't think you're seeing it, Scorpio. I don't think you're seeing necessarily like how other people are inspired by you. That's the message. I just feel like that it's kind of wanting you to acknowledge that within yourself, that your gifts have purpose and meaning and are helping others. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.